Hi, good morning. I'm going to start with a brief introduction. I'm Kathy. I teach art at Gladwin Junior High. Gladwin's about 40 minutes north of Midland, and I teach in town. I teach grades 6 through 8. So this morning I'm going to explain my plan of a student showcase of art. Our school has never had one before. We do participate in the high school's art show, which is a fabulous art show. They're generous. They give us space. I bring over the work, and when it's done, I bring it all back. But I never know how many junior high families attend. So one of the goals our school has is to grow our parent involvement. So I thought by having our own student showcase of art, this could help. So my plan includes writing a grant. It's actually already written. They're just little mini grants. I've written, I think, 3 or 4. Every one I've written, I've been awarded. So I'm really confident there. I'm asking for display screens to use in the art show. But worst case, even if I don't get the grant, we can still have our art show because we have plenty of bulletin boards and of course, walls. So my plan goes through the steps, and at the end I have a little outline just summarizing everything. So I'm actually going to start with that. So the first thing I would need would be my principal's approval. Now, he's been very supportive with my other projects, so I'm really confident there. I would also need that grant, but like I said, if I don't get it, that's not a problem. Then each marking period, there would be some things that happen. So the students would be informed of the show, and they'd all be encouraged to participate. They're going to also generate their own invitations. So they could create their own, design their own. For my less creative artists, I could give them a template that has all the information that we need on it. We're going to have volunteers make posters, promotional posters, and then the 2D art would get matted. Now, in the past, I've done all the matting, and it's a big job. Students get to choose the color of the background, but I'm the one that does all the work. This year, they're going to learn how to do their own. So they'll be in charge of their own work, they'll be responsible for it, and they can take ownership of it. During our third marking period, the superintendent could make an announcement at a board meeting. I talk to him every morning. Nice guy, so I know that won't be a problem. I would be in charge of informing our staff. We would need just a few volunteers, not as many as we need at the dances. The dances, there are no parents, so it's heavy on staff. So I would just need a few for this event. And then also I would contact our local paper, and we'd start hanging up the art on the display screens, on the walls, the bulletin boards as it gets made. And the last marking period, the 2D art continues to get put in place. The invitations would get mailed. I would also send emails, and then I would we'd start hanging those posters, and then I'd also have an announcement for volunteers. We're going to need some student volunteers. And I've actually come up with a little sign-up sheet. So it just lists the different areas, and then the students would pick a first choice or a second choice. So the areas are greeters. I need a couple of greeters. We'd have an AI table, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. They'd have to set up tables, take down tables, set up the art, take down the art, the 3D art, and then some art monitors just to mingle with the crowd and then answer any questions they might have. For the AI table, I think this is going to be a really fun activity. So to start, you think of an image, and then you type in the image, giving as much detail as you can. So here is a simple one. This is an elephant floating on a raft in a pool with a glass of lemonade. Very basic. Some of these could be very imaginative, very funny. There are some limitations. This particular app doesn't like anything to do with feet, and probably some other things. So, again, there are some limitations, but I think it could be a pretty fun interactive activity. So it'd probably be maybe an hour and a half to a 2-hour show, and immediately afterwards, we just take everything down. to go back to the AI, these could also be printed as little souvenirs. So I think that's again, that's another fun aspect of it. In my mind, this show is already done. It's I can fast forward a year from now, and I can see it done. I can see the parents there. I'm a visual person. I can see the volunteers having fun. That's a big part of it. One aspect of that that I like about that is it's going to be cross marking periods and cross. It'll include the different grades, so they can collaborate. And I can even see us having a couple meetings during the year, and they can generate some ideas, things that I haven't thought of. I'm open to suggestions to make this the best that it can be and improve that parent involvement, improve the student art community at school, and then have the kids learn some new skills that they will take with them to the high school. I think it's a win-win all the way around, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you.